Hello Internet, what's going on? I'm Ricardo, the Cynical Critic. Welcome to the final review of RWBY Volume 1. No, it's been a long road, but I have to say that I've enjoyed most of it. Before we start, I just wanted to express my gratitude to all of you who've supported me through this.
All 8 of them.
Well, once more, let's get back to RWBY and the gang to see what happened last time on RWBY. God, that's really confusing to say sometimes.
Well, anyways, back to the show, and man, a lot happened last time. We were introduced to 2 new characters, finally got some more motion on the main plot, and Blake has cat ears! Holy shit! Yeah, it turns out she's a faunus, that race of humans with certain and particular animal-like physical features that I'm sure was not added for any pandering reason whatsoever. Hey, as long as you got good tits and a sweet ass, you be as weird as you want to, baby. And like so many races before it, this group was oppressed for simply looking different, and thus a misguided band of freedom fighters rose up to defend their fellow mutants, faunus. This gang was called the White Fang, and they had been the cause of much trouble in Remnant, and one of those affected by their actions was our very own White Schnee. As she is the heiress to a multi-billion whatever they call money in this world company, she has had to grow up with a constant threat on her life and livelihood. Her father's company and its employees has been the target of several attacks, as well as her own family. After a fight she and Blake have over just how evil or misguided the White Fang are, Weiss calls them a bunch of thieves, liars, and murderers, which causes Blake to lash back out, accidentally revealing that she was once part of the group. And like when somebody drops a cucumber near her, she flees from the room. Ah, I see what you did there. God, you're pathetic. We're shown her not returning over the weekend, leaving her 2 teammates worried and Weiss indifferent about their missing cat. Okay, please stop. As it turns out, she was hanging with Sun, one of the new characters introduced that had accelerated the argument between Weiss and Blake.
We left off last time with Blake about to reveal a little bit more about her past. So without further ado, let's hear what she has to say. Lakana, roll the clip.
For one last time, skip. We return to Blake and Sons, that's Blake Belladonna and Sun Wukong, not Blake's and Sons moving storage. Conversation as Blake asks the angry monkey man if he knows anything about the White Fang. Sun says that he does.
Stupid holier-than-thou creeps that use force to get whatever they want.
I was once a member of the White Fang.
Wait a minute, you were a member of the White Fang?
Well, at least they dodged the cliche of a character says something bad about a person or persons before realizing that they said it to the person or persons and tries to awkwardly retract their statement.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe they didn't, but at least they dodged the last bit. Blake then goes on to explain that she was not only part of the White Fang, but practically grew up in it. Apparently, there was the usual fantasy war, and despite their efforts in helping out in it, the faunus were still being treated like animals, ironically. So a protest group rose up to try and change things. But when words didn't work, like words alone have ever worked, a new leader rose to power. Oh, look at little Blake, she's so cute. Don't you judge me, I can say a little girl's cute. I should probably stop talking.
Yes, I think you should.
This new leader was a clear Magneto fan, because now the White Fang were attacking instead of protesting, burning anti-faunus shops to the ground, threatening faunus racists, and hijacking company trains that use faunus labor. Okay, so now the Black Trail makes a little bit more sense. Just only a little bit though, because that Metal Gear Kamehameha robot was still weird. But then again, you guys would say something stupid like, that's just their security robot. Or, it's an anime. Or, it's what Monty wanted. Still stupid. Well, like we saw in the Black trailer, Blake decided that she couldn't be part of that violent group anymore and left them.
Goodbye. So here I am, a criminal hiding in plain view, all with the help of a little black bow.
So she never get it accidentally pulled off or take it off herself? Not even when she needed to take a shower. How bad does that thing smell?
Oh, they smell like fish.
We then cut to Team RWBY, or as it's probably called now, Team RWBY. Which is how I think the Japanese pronounce the we.
Weiss, they're not helping.
Oh, you know who might be able to help? The police.
Ugh, Weiss.
RWBY, Weiss has a good point. I mean, you don't have to tell them that she was a member of the White Fang. The 3 continued to bicker when suddenly, Penny!
Weiss's hair looks wonderful today. Ah, Penny, where did you come from? What are you up to?
The girls tell Penny that they were trying to find their friend Blake.
You mean the faunus girl. Wait, how did you know that? The cat ears?
What cat ears? She wears a bow.
She does like tuna a lot.
Oh yeah, sadly for us men, she does.
We
Upon hearing that Blake has been missing all weekend, Penny declares to her BFF that she will not rest until Ruby's cat is found.
That's really nice of you, Penny, but we're okay.
It sure is windy today.
God damn it, Penny, you stole my joke!
Back with the Black Sun.
Blake expresses her doubts that the Faunists were responsible for this recent slew of dust robberies, as it didn't seem to be their style. Then the Monkey Boy has an idea.
The only way to prove that they didn't do it is to go to the place where they would most likely go to if they were to do it and not find them there. Right?
To be honest, you lost me. So I'm just gonna do what I usually do with my teachers and pretend like I have any clue what you're talking about. Yes, I see what you're saying. Square root and, numbers.
Only thing is, I have no idea where that would be.
Well, Sun says that he believes he thinks he knows of a potential target that they might go for. And as it's a recent shipment of dust from the Schnee Dust Company, and since this episode is not very long, I think we and Blake can figure that that's going to be the mark. Back with the yellow snow ship, we can see that Weiss is still having issues on whether or not she wants to find Blake.
You really don't care if we find her, do you?
Of course I do. I'm just afraid of what she'll say when we find her. The innocent never run, Yang.
Unless they're being chased, in which case I think Tom Cruise said it best.
Everybody runs, Fletch.
It's pronounced bitch. We then cut to Ruby and the Martian, as the former explains that things with Blake are a bit complicated, as Blake may not be who they thought she was.
Is she a man?
We are not getting into that. My channel is still too young to survive a gender politics war.
Have something to hide, Ricardo? I guess that's what they used to say. Rich is a bitch.
I don't know what she is. She didn't exactly talk to us before she decided to run off.
I don't have a lot of friends.
Yeah, I can picture that. I mean, you are a ginger, so half the people you meet immediately get freaked out, and the other half you suck their souls out. So I can understand why you don't have many friends.
But if I did, I would want them to talk to me about things.
Me too.
Back with Catwoman and Goku, we see them staking out the shipyard.
Stole you some food.
Do you always break the law without a second thought?
Hey, weren't you in a cult or something?
Dude, protocol of dating. You wait until at least the third date before you start making fun of her life choices.
Well, somebody's not gonna be able to pet the kitty tonight. And by kitty, I mean
Oh, thank God, a distraction.
Oh no.
Is that them?
Yes.
You really didn't think they were behind it, did you?
No. I think deep down I knew. I just didn't want to be right.
Hey! What's the holdup? We're not exactly the most inconspicuous bunch of thieves at the moment.
Hey, Torchwick's back!
So yeah, it turns out the White Fang is responsible for the robberies. But they're not the ones in charge. Yes, apparently Bowler Hat here is calling the shots, but Blake doesn't believe it. She sneaks out towards them. Yeah, her outfit screams incognito. And grabs Roman.
What the? Oh, for...
I agree with you, Roman, my man. I mean, she's got the blade facing the wrong way.
You think being part of a cult, she'd learn how to take a hostage. Sorry.
Well, Blake tries to reason with her Faunus brethren, but to no avail.
White Fang and I are going in on a joint business venture together.
Tell me what it is, or I'll put an end to your little operation.
Okay, does this city have the worst police force or something?
I mean, I know Bernie works for them and all, so I guess I'm right. But seriously, how do you fly several of those ships into the goddamn harbor without alerting everybody?
That's not how explosions work!
Yeah, she might have been blown back, but you shouldn't have any legs anymore!
Well, somehow that tiny explosion creates a big-ass smoke cloud, alerting her friends. And thus a fight begins, as Roman proves what I said back in the first episode right. That his cane is horribly inaccurate. Then Sun jumps in and kills Roman by landing on his face. Oh wait, this is an anime, so it just minorly inconvenienced him, as his disposable henchmen drop down.
You are not the brightest banana in the bunch, are you, kid?
Ha! Get it? Because he's a monkey!
Yeah, Torchwick should take this a bit more seriously, cause Sun's not monkeying around. Internet, for your information, Ricardo made me say that. That was not my joke.
Well, as you might have guessed, a badass fight sequence breaks out here. Sun starts kicking butt, we find out that of course he's got a fucking staff, and Blake waits until the danger is lowered before calling dibs on the boss, like a good MMO player. And while she holds her ground for a bit, Roman shows that he ain't afraid of hitting a girl. Nunchuck guns. God damn it, that is simultaneously stupid as hell and fucking awesome. So for now, we'll just call it stupidly awesome. Take the shot. Take the shot. He's right there. Just take the fucking shot!
Hey!
See, dumbass, now you got distracted. Well, RWBY shows up for the fight.
Oh, hello, Red.
Ruby, Penny, get back!
And is immediately taken down.
I can see why some people say that this wasn't an anime. In a real anime, that would have been a panty shot.
She's just under 16.
Your point being?
Didn't say that! Please don't jump again!
Well then, Penny decides to join in the fight and shows RWBY that with no soul, one has no fear.
Ready.
The fuck? The double fuck? Go, go, Gadget, whoop your ass. Okay, seriously, the fuck is going on? Okay, is she using cheat codes or a game genie or something? How the hell is her tiny body keeping that freaking jet down?
How is she doing that?
See, even RWBY agrees with me. Well, Ruben sees that things are all going to hell and decides to make a break for it.
These kids just keep getting weirder.
Tell me about it. But then again, it is an anime, and let's face it, it could be worse.
Well, the bad guys get away, the cops finally show up, and Weiss and Yang reach the docks. Would have been nice to have them there earlier so that Barbara could have joined in the fight, but no, I guess not.
Look, Weiss, it's not what you think. She explained the whole thing. You see, she doesn't actually wear a bow. She has kitty ears, and they're actually kind of cute.
God damn it, RWBY. Again, serious moments. Stop being cute.
Once again, a touching scene. Don't want to ruin it for you guys. Don't want to be put on Rooster Teeth's hit list. So allow me to ruin it with my voice.
Blake tries to explain herself, but Weiss interrupts.
Do you have any idea of how long we've been searching for you? 12 hours.
Didn't you guys say that she was gone all weekend?
She's been missing since Friday.
Yeah, so what's with the 12 hours? What, she only looked for her friend when she was on the clock or something? Good going, Miles and Carrie. Your script is flawless. And yes, before any of you start complaining, I know Monty also worked on the script, but anytime I make fun of him, you guys start crying like babies.
Well, either way, Weiss explains that however long it's been since Blake's ran off, she's had time to think, and has come to the conclusion that...
I don't care. You said you're not one of them anymore, right?
No, I haven't been since I was younger.
I don't want to hear it. All I want to know is that the next time something this big comes up, to your teammates, and not someone else.
Of course.
I'm still not quite sure how I feel about you.
You hear that, you dirty monkey man? Know your place.
Don't ruin the moment, Yang. Don't ruin the moment!
Yeah, Team RWBY is back together!
Oh god, maybe they are sisters.
Sure hope so. Makes my fantasies a whole lot better.
Please don't shut me down.
RWBY then notices that Penny has suddenly vanished.
Wait a minute. Where's Penny?
I guess you could say RWBY lost a penny. Oh god. Internet, what have you done to me?
You should know better than to go running around in a strange city.
I know, sir.
Penny, your time will come.
Once again, we see that the pedo wizard has got cameras everywhere, as he receives a text message from someone who clearly can't spell crow. Is that it? Are we gonna get any more development? Oh, fuck you, Rooster Teeth! And no joke, we get 2 minutes and 22 seconds of credits. Almost an entire song's worth.
I say this because that's 15% of a video that was already short to begin with!
And after it, of course, we get an end credit scene.
How very disappointing, Roman.
Whoa! Wasn't expecting to see you guys so soon.
I know, right? Usually it takes hookers a little bit longer to come.
She's not a hooker.
Then how do you explain what she's wearing?
It's an anime?
See, you're learning.
We were expecting more from you.
You were the ones who suggested working with those stupid mutts from the White Fang.
And you will continue to do so. We have big plans for you, Roman.
Who's we?
I hope you don't mean the two clear cardboard cutouts behind you. I mean, they might be a little better at fighting than the White Fang guys, but I don't think they'll be able to hold a conversation.
And thus, the video just sort of ends. Kind of anticlimactic, really. It's almost like Marvel actually created the end credit scene! Or me, for that matter! I mean, you guys do realize I have an end credit scene after all my videos, right?
No, and we don't care.
Well, there you have it, you ungrateful bastards. The last episode of the first season of RWBY. And like all the episodes before it, it was okay.
Yeah, once again, Rooster Teeth's new show isn't a raging hit, nor a pathetic failure. It's entertaining in places and underdeveloped in others. And one of those places that is not getting enough of a workout, like a douchebag at the gym, is the more intellectual side of it, the story.
I believe the same could be said about anime fans.
I mean, don't get me wrong, this episode was wonderful, but sadly it was a bit too short, and it didn't have enough plot development.
We finally reached the end of the show, and we are no more the wiser of what the villain's main goal is, or at least an idea of the direction they're going. We're given an understanding that they are recruiting the White Fang, they need a whole lot of dust, and that they may have some pull in the government to be able to fly jets in the city and to have the harbor void of security.
That or it's just one of the many plot holes of this series.
But that's pure speculation for now, and while the main story doesn't have to take center stage, the characters are going to be the ones who are going to have to pick up the slack. Again, focus was on them this episode, but unlike the others, it seems a little weaker this time. I guess it was because they wanted to focus a little bit more on the main plot, but sacrificing character growth just left it scrawny in both camps.
However, again, that doesn't mean it wasn't entertaining to watch.
Once more, the voice actors are one of the best things about this show, as it does feel like the characters are more like normal people than actors playing a role, which is all thanks to the writers and our voice actors. What's also still nice is the animation. While not perfect, they have done some nifty things with it, and it's certainly pleasant to look at.
Yeah, I can definitely tell they worked hard on it.
If you notice throughout this series, most of the background characters have been simple silhouettes. On one hand, it does save time and money in the animation process, but it is also a cool artistic choice. The characters in the background are often not the focus, so they literally made them out of focus.
And though the credits were a bit too long, I do have to admit that music was really good. Jeff and Cassie Williams are to thank for the amazing soundtrack we've been hearing throughout the volume.
At times it's exciting and heart-pumping, at others it's playful and upbeat, but it always knows how to be calm and somber when the moment calls for it.
The last thing I would like to talk about is the resolution between Weiss and Blake.
A lot of viewers of this show weren't really on board with the speed of how things turned out. They felt that it was a bit too rushed and that Weiss forgave Blake a bit too quickly. And you have to admit, it was rushed and there wasn't much time devoted to them making up. But that doesn't make it bad.
It's also sad that not enough time was devoted to them making out.
First off, a lot of people assume that Weiss was angry with Blake, when she really wasn't. Sure, she was a bit indifferent when it came to trying to find her, and yes, she complained a lot about it, but let's face the facts. That's who Weiss is!
She complains about everything that doesn't go her way, but as we saw with her argument with RWBY, she is willing, not readily, but willing to admit when she's wrong. You could tell by her reaction to Blake's revelation that she didn't know what to think. To be honest, this is a nice show of character development.
They left her as the bitchy whiner that we saw her last time, and just made her hate Blake or profusely apologize for her words. It would have been out of character for Weiss.
But instead, they keep Weiss to her old ways of thinking that she was in the right. However, they show us that she did learn something and that she is growing, because at the end, she knew Blake as a friend, and she didn't want to lose that. Once again, growing up knowing that there were people out there that hated your family and wanted to hurt you simply because of the sins of your father would be traumatizing. But upon hearing that someone you knew and you knew as a good person was once part of those people would cause you to question just how you saw that group. It's clear that Weiss was hurt by the White Fang, but comparing that with losing a friend, she knew what would hurt more.
On one hand, people are right. They should have spent more time on this to give us a proper ending for it. On the other, considering how much time and money they actually had to work with, it is nice to see Rooster Teeth bring us a pleasant enough conclusion. And taking the first volume as a whole, no. It's not a superstar show that's just leagues above everyone else. But in its own way, it's a nice show.
The animation is done well enough to be visually pleasing. The characters are interesting and their voice actors know how to bring them to life. The world is intriguing, the action is heart-poundingly awesome, and while the story does struggle to make a presence, it is at least consistent. Sometimes.
So, is RWBY a good anime?
Yes, it is.
To be honest, that's up to you guys to decide. But consider this. There is a reason why this show has not only survived considering all the obstacles in its way, but has thrived.
As far as I can tell, RWBY is a good show. Not great, but a good show. With memorable characters and an interesting art style. And it's definitely worth checking out.
Well, that's all I can really say for now, guys. I am certainly looking forward to reviewing Volume 2, and I absolutely had fun reviewing Volume 1. So, till next time, thank you. Thank you so much for watching my review of RWBY Volume 1. I'm Ricardo, the Cynical Critic. When it comes to me, there is no movie that is sacred. There is no video that is safe. But I believe that they all deserve a chance to surprise you. I'll see you guys next time. Toodles.
Jarvis.
Welcome, Holmes.
I am Iron Man. Mr. Stark, you become part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it yet.
Who the hell are you?
Nick Fury. I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative.